Have you ever read a letter and after reading it, you're still confused as to what the writer is really saying? Hi, welcome back to Everyday English with Drea. This is where we learn simple English for our everyday use. In today's lesson, we'll be discussing letter writing in IELTS General. In the IELTS Writing Task 1 for the General Training module, you'll be asked to write a letter based on a given situation. Now, let's quickly define each type of letter. A formal letter is usually written to someone you don't know personally, like a company, a manager, or a service provider. A semi-formal letter is written to someone you know, but only in a professional or limited context, like a teacher, landlord, or neighbor. Whereas an informal letter is written to someone you know well, like a friend or a family member. Whether you're writing formal, semi-formal, or informal letters, here are a few tips. First, analyze the prompt carefully. And this means you'll identify who you are writing to and why. And this affects your tone and structure. Next up is your word count. You'll be instructed how many words to write. So say for example, you're asked to write at least 150 words. Aim for 160 to 180 to ensure completeness, but avoid being overly wordy. Use proper tone and language. What you want to do is to match the tone to the type of letter. So whether it be formal, semi-formal, or informal, you'll use the tone to match the letter type that you are writing. Cover all bullet points. This means the prompt will give you 3 bullet points to address, and it's essential to cover all of them. And the final tip is to plan your structure. This means that you'll divide your letter into clear paragraphs for introduction, body, and conclusion. Writing a letter may seem like an easy task. However, in writing a letter, you have to be strategic, understanding that a reader will most likely read the introductory sentence and then skim through the letter to find additional details. Now, let's explore the parts of a letter. First, we have the opening greeting, which usually goes along the line of "Dear Sir, Madam." And then we have the introduction, and the introduction clearly states the purpose of the letter. That is followed by the body paragraphs. And the body paragraphs explain the situation in detail, describe the problem, and request specific action. Next up, we have the closing sentence, which politely thank the recipient for their attention or express hope for a solution. And finally, we sign off on our letter, usually along the lines of yours faithfully, yours truly, followed by your name. Let's look at an example of a formal letter. So you're in the exam and you're given this prompt. You recently stayed at a hotel and had an issue with the service. Write a letter to the hotel manager to explain the problem and request action. Remember that the instruction will tell you exactly what to include in your letter. So let's begin. Let's say for argument's sake, you're asked to include address and you'd put your address, then let's begin. Dear Sir, Madam, I'm writing to express my disappointment with the service I received during my recent stay at your hotel from October 1st to October 5th. Now in this section, you can see that I have my greeting and I also have my introductory sentence. During my stay, I encountered several issues with the room amenities, particularly with the air conditioning, which was not functioning correctly. Despite notifying the front desk on the first day, no action was taken to address the issue. making my stay quite uncomfortable. Given the circumstances, I would appreciate if you could investigate this matter and consider a partial refund or a discount on my next stay. This section you can see I have the problem and a solution. Finally, thank you for your attention to this matter. I look forward to your response. Yours faithfully. And at the end, you'll insert your name. Now, in this letter, you are able to identify each part. You're able to identify the greeting, the introductory sentence, the body paragraph, which includes the issue that I had, and I also include a possible solution. Then you have my closing sentence, and then I sign off on the letter. Now, regardless of whether you're asked to write a formal, informal, or a semi-formal letter, the structure of the letter will be the same. You'll have your greeting, your introduction, your body, your closing, and signing off. Now, with those helpful tips and some practice, you'll be able to master the letter writing in your IELTS General. Thanks for watching Everyday English with Drea. If you haven't yet hit that subscription button, please do so now. Thank you. Until next time, practice for your IELTS test.